Hello, Mary Richards.
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of today's anatomy question. So, okay, this is what I want to talk to you about. Back pain. Yoga and back pain. Hi, Penelope. I see you. So before we get to back pain, those of you watching know we're developing a movement literacy digital course called Experiential Anatomy. And I would love it if you want to stay in the loop and hear about the course when it launches later this year. Please visit experientialanatomy.yoga, give us your email address, and we'll send you also future videos with these type of anatomy questions. So many people know, it's kind of common cultural knowledge that yoga is good for back pain. If you have back pain, you should go to yoga. And even my husband, for example, he has a kind of stiff, tricky lower back, and he knows that when he practices, it gets better. So what are we really talking about? What are people saying when they say it's good for back pain? And how can we be kind of more specific and educated from an anatomical, physiological perspective? That seems so kindergarten language, back pain, or sort of hashtag language. What are we really talking about when we dig a little bit deeper?
So yoga can be excellent for all types of back pain, especially low back pain. Mm-hmm. But we do need to be specific about what type of pain an individual is experiencing. Many folks suffer ill effects from prolonged sitting.
Yes.
And the reason why yoga asana can be so helpful in reducing pain and improving function, bodily comfort, is because asana allows the practitioner to take their body through its full range of motion.
Okay,
so
which it wants to do.
Yes, we are designed to move. I have to be careful with the hand movements. I get really excited.
Penelope is not enjoying.
She's sitting right in front of me.
I can see her ears just poking up in the bottom of the screen.
She's like, is it my turn yet? Is it my turn yet? So that's one of the reasons, especially for low back pain, prolonged sitting keeps us in a state of perpetual flexion, mm-hmm. and we're out of joint in the sacroiliac. Mm-hmm. And asana is a great counterpose, if you will, to sitting.
Okay, so this is a great place. I didn't know we were going to go here, but now I want to ask you, so tell us, like, for sitting people, I heard you say before we started recording, you were talking about a student as a car desk person, which is flexion. So what are three poses or the key poses that you give to beginning yoga students who are car desk flexion people?
CatCow,
mm-hmm.
or a dynamic version of child's pose where you start on all fours, exhale, sit the hips down into the heels, and then inhale and come back to all fours. Mm-hmm. Because either of those body positions, CatCow or the dynamic child's pose, they help establish the imminence of something called the lumbosacral rhythm.
I've heard of this before. Tell us more.
So that's the relationship, the natural relationship between your low back and your pelvis. Because when you, for instance, flex your low back, mm-hmm. your sacrum responds. And these are passive joint movements. So what CatCow does, for instance, is it reconnects the body to its rhythm.
And I'm guessing also that it's not just the bones, but it's the kind of symphony of muscles that all have to contract and release.
not only do you, for instance, contract the muscles of the back body when you come into the cow version, the cow portion of CatCow, but when you come into the cat position.
So cat is when you're rounded.
Yeah, like a scared Halloween cat. Seems appropriate with Penelope nearby. You're utilizing your abdominal muscles. Mm-hmm. And so it's just a love. I start almost every practice session myself and most of my group classes with CatCow because I live in the Washington metropolitan area and people drive desks.
What about Cobra, lying on your belly and doing gentle back bends? Do you like that for back pain people?
I do. But okay, so I'll start with CatCow, for instance. And then I'll have folks do variations of bird dog, where you're on all fours and you lift your right arm and your left leg.
You call that bird dog?
Yeah, yeah.
I like it.
Because that you stabilize your lumbar doing that, and you also utilize the postural muscles of the upper back. Mm-hmm. So one of the ways to relieve tension is to actually use the muscles.
Right.
So I'll have them do bird dog, and I like Cobra pose, but for low back pain, mm-hmm. I prefer locust. Because I want people to utilize their glutes more.
Okay, so remind us what locust is.
So you're on your belly, arms resting by the sides of the body. You inhale, lift your legs, lift your chest, mm-hmm. and your head.
But this is obviously not first pose of the practice.
No. Warm up first with CatCow.
Okay, so last question. This is really helpful. I know you can't give me an encyclopedic answer.
I'd like to.
No, I'm saying I don't expect you to give me an encyclopedic answer because I'm putting you on the spot. But what are the things a student might say about their back pain that would signal to me as the teacher, yoga is not going to be good for this student in this body today?
I have burning, stabbing pain. Mm-hmm. I have numbness in my legs, into my feet. Mm-hmm. Because those adjectives, burning, stabbing, numbness, are frequently indicative of a bulging or herniated disc, nerve compression.
So I've heard mom ask students before, do you have any tingling, numbness, or radiating pain? So that's what you're asking. Okay.
Yes. And so for those individuals that say, yes, I feel like I have an ice pick stuck in my back. My feet are always numb. It's more appropriate for them to work individually or in a small group because they require very specific modifications.
Right. And they require potentially also a diagnosis from a doctor.
Yes. And I will ask, have you had this checked out?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mary Richards, so helpful as always. Tell us where we can find you on the internet.
At maryrichardsyoga.com and on Facebook at A Little Yoga Goes a Long Way.
That's so true.
It is.
Goes a long way. I'm LizzieLasater.com on Instagram, where I'm posting about deceleration. That's my new favorite word, deceleration. And if you want to stay in touch with these videos, with us, with this course, if you want to know more about anatomy, please visit www.experientialanatomy.yoga. The phrase that I said the other day to someone is, teaching yoga without a deep understanding of anatomy, physiology, movement literacy is like trying to fly an airplane without a pilot's license.
I love it.
Namaste, Mary.
Namaste, Lizzie.